Welcome back to Bleed With Me podcast. I'm your host, Michaela Superstar, and I'm here with Jerbil, your other host.
Yeah. Episode
2 with Just Jerbil. And tonight we have a guest. Actually, we're going to interview, which we don't usually do, which we should do more of. But I don't know. I guess we didn't think anyone would really want to talk to us, so this is exciting. But he is an entertainment attorney named Joshua. I didn't even ask how you say your name. Lastine?
Joshua Lastine, yeah.
Joshua Lastine. Nailed it. And he reps horror filmmakers and worked on films like Halloween 2018, I read, which was killer, and The Blackening, which I personally loved. I didn't know if you worked on The Short and The Longie, but either way, I loved both. Those are fucking great. And yeah, he's here to talk about all kinds of cool shit that we don't know anything about. So this isn't even an opinion one. This is actual facts, which we love. So welcome, Joshua. Thanks for coming.
Hey, Michaela. Hey, Jerbil John. Don't cut yourself too short. It looks like John's fluent in bird law. So, I mean,
he is.
I wore this for you today.
I got a feeling, so.
Damn, that's so good, Jerbil.
Great shirt. I work with Jimmy Simpson a lot, who is McBoyle.
Oh my God!
Oh, really? Oh, excellent.
That dude's awesome.
And whose wife, not wife, girlfriend, is a female horror filmmaker. She actually produced a documentary about Chucky, the Chucky series, and she's got a new horror film coming out soon called, I think it's called Slay, off the top of my name. Carrie Gardner is her name. Carrie Gardner.
That's awesome. No way.
Definitely look it up. So bringing the It's Always Sunny reference home.
There we go.
Oh, full circle. That actor's amazing. He comes up in all kinds of stuff. He'll just pop up, and I'll be like, "Oh, I love that dude, McBoyle." He's always McBoyle to me. It's iconic. Even in Westworld. Which he was also awesome in. So yeah, tell us a little bit, like, what is an entertainment lawyer?
Yeah. I was going to say I might be the spookiest person you've had on your podcast, I guess. I'm probably the first lawyer you've had, besides Bert here over here.
You're the first lawyer I've ever spoken to.
The first lawyer that I've ever spoken to that you've wanted to speak to.
By choice.
It's funny, though, because, lawyers get such a bad rep, but there are kind of many different types of lawyers, right? And put them into two easy buckets that people understand. There's your lawyers that wear suits and ties. They argue in front of a judge. They bring lawsuits. They bring cases. They defend people. They prosecute people. Those are what's called litigators. And I don't do any of that. I don't wear a suit and tie. I don't go to court. I will never, hopefully, be in court. Knock on wood. If it is, it's going to be because I'm in trouble. So let's hope not. Let's hope not. But I'm what is called a transactional entertainment lawyer. So I spend all day, every day negotiating deals, writing contracts, looking at paperwork, structuring and advising clients on for lack of a better macro term, content creation. I hate the term content creation, but we'll call it that because, or maybe media creation is the best way to put it. I have clients, like you alluded to, I have horror writer, director, producer clients who are filmmakers. I just signed my first heavy metal band the other day, which I'm pretty excited about. Cool about that. Satellite City, look them up on Spotify. I just right before I jumped on this podcast, one of my clients, he makes actually bespoke horror clothing, like custom made hand painted jackets. Small Town Weirdos, what his name is, and he gets engaged to do all the Lionsgate red carpet premieres and dress the cast from the Stranger movies.
Oh, excellent!
So Stranger 2 is coming out. The Strangers Part 2 is coming out. Although I don't know if did you guys watch The Strangers Part 1? I couldn't get off.
Yeah.
Not the original, the new Part 1.
Yeah, the one with.
No, I don't think so.
Glenn Howerton in it.
Is that who's in it?
Briefly.
Oh.
Yeah, briefly.
I just know the girl from Riverdale who's dating Tyga.
Nah, yeah.
I don't know if I've seen it. I think I saw the original.
It was brutal.
It was good. I enjoyed it.
Jerbil liked it.
It's one of my friend's favorite franchise. Actually, they go on. I feel bad I haven't seen it. They go on and on about how much they love all the films. So I feel really bad now.
It's a fun franchise. I lambaste it in my media ethics course because it, at least in the initial one, was heavily advertised as based on a true story. And the true story that it's based on, I can't remember if it's the writer director, maybe he was the writer director, both. Based on a story of him growing up, someone came to his door in the middle of the night and knocked on the door. And then the family went down to answer it, and they're like, "Oh, we have the wrong house," and they went away. So that was the true story that it was based on and stuff. And so I lead that into my discussion in media ethics, where it's like, there's actually no rules, laws, or regulations as it relates to that kind of thing. Like
a true story.
That was my first question I was going to ask. I wanted to ask you.
No. Like the closest thing that's ever come up is and it was actually, I think, kind of recently, someone sued a studio because Ana de Armas appeared in a trailer and then didn't end up making it in the movie. And then they had bought the ticket because they wanted to go see her, and she just wasn't in the movie, which happens all the time. It actually just happened with Fantastic Four that just came out this summer. John Malkovich was supposed to be in it. He was heavily advertised in the trailer, and his character was completely cut, not in the movie at all. So no, there's no standard of false advertisement as it relates to film.
That's interesting.
In fact, one of the most famous horror films in terms of viral internet marketing. The very first viral internet marketing takeoff of a film was the Blair Witch Project, which heavily leaned into kind of making it seem like it was a true story. They had planted fake websites and news stories and police reports and stuff. So
it was the best. Yeah. That was one of the best marketing.
Right?
Campaigns of all time. And I loved it. I was so there for it. I went opening night, I remember. I was so excited.
The one that I'm giving the gold star to as of recent is Long Legs. They did a phenomenal job marketing and advertising that. I don't know if you guys ever saw the little trailer bit where they hooked the actress up with a heart monitor, and they play that going into see Nicholas
her heartbeat, racing more and more. Oh my god.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
And that's great. It was so great because I read something where Oz Perkins was like, I had no idea they were going to go that way with it. He's like, this movie's kind of funny. It is kind of fucking funny, right? And so he was like, I had nothing to do with that marketing, and he was like, it was brilliant, but he was just like, that wasn't even my vision. But you see, and again, it's one of my favorite movies that came out that year. But he's one of my favorite horror directors, just hands down. But you see Long Legs finally, and you're like, it's not even that scary, But it's the marketing was so good that when you finally see him, you're just like, oh, that's just more funny. But it was great. Well, it was perfect.
I was thinking about this earlier too, because I was thinking about what I've watched recently, and we went and saw Weapons. I don't know if you guys have seen.
Amazing.
Weapons is great, and obviously made by Barbarian, and Long Legs, made The Monkey and stuff. And I'm a fan of these movies, but I have to be a little bit more open-minded when it comes to my horror genre-ness, because to me, funny horror was always Idle Hands or Leprechaun 4 or something like that.
Right.
Oh, it's this kind of cool mix of spooky thriller noir, but also horror, but also hilarious at times. There was times in Weapons when I was just dying laughing.
Oh, totally, 100%. And again, the director used to be in the Only White Kids You Know or whatever.
Yep.
So it's it
the Whitest Kids You Know.
Whitest Kids You Know or whatever. Yeah, I always mess that up. But again, coming from this world of comedy, and it is funny. When the kids, spoiler alert, when the kids are just running through the house and then the families are just like, what the fuck? And they're like, now there's a man in the kitchen. Like that shit, I was like dying. Like, yeah, and I like the self-awareness that's coming with it, though, that like sometimes horror is just straight up funny. Like there was parts of Malignant where I was cracking up and I was like, is this supposed to be funny? And then Megan comes out and I'm like, I think Malignant was supposed to be funny because it's like the same writer, I think, right? Same screenwriter.
Malignant. That's the one with the girl in the back of her head.
Yeah, and she's got like a cancerous tumor that's
cancerous
controlling
tumor
her.
that like has teeth and stuff. Oh, I liked that one a lot.
I liked it too, but didn't it almost seem like a comedy, right? At times, I found myself laughing.
Yeah.
In a good way.
The genre is expanding. How about that?
I love
it. And that's cool.
Absolutely.
And it's, single-handedly saving movie theaters at the moment, which is an awesome thing. So,
it's wild.
Yeah.
Who would have thunk?
Yeah.
I guess the 80s we did have that like cash influx from the horror genres, but then it seemed to like teeter off for a bit, and now we're back, which is nice.
Horror has always been an extremely popular genre within filmmaking. I mean, even going back to Nosferatu, even going back to the black and white Dracula and stuff. Nosferatu, Dracula, that's an interesting legal story. We'll talk about it later.
Excellent.
But, no other genre of film has the kind of ROI potential, that return on investment potential that horror films have. Paranormal Activity, I think, was shot for like $35,000, and can go on and gross franchise, after sequel within the franchise, making boatload of money. Same thing with Saw, same thing with Halloween. I mean, any number of horror franchises, and in a taking it back to kind of what I do, right? Like my job is kind of sit in the middle of that because as a lawyer, I work with the bank, I work with the financiers, I work with the purse strings in terms of who's giving the producers money to make their film, but then I also represent the producers and the filmmakers and the creatives themselves. So I'm super cognitive of not only the creative side of things, but also how the financial side of things impact the creative side of things. And horror's just always been a good bet on getting your money back for financiers. That's why, in an era now when there's really only two types of films, you have your 300, 400 million mega blockbusters put out by the studio, or a $5 million film, or maybe at best a $10 million film. But go on Shudder, and those films, I can't imagine they cost more than $1, $2, $3 million to make. And I love them. The one that we watched recently was Ugly Stepsister. It was the Danish one. It's a Danish Cinderella retelling.
I haven't seen it yet.
Good.
It sounds
excellent.
If you haven't seen it on Shudder, I highly recommend it.
I haven't seen that one either. Yeah.
Yeah, I love Shudder though. It's like a lot of their original stuff has been amazing, and like you said, they're not spending $1 million or $1 million, but like they aren't spending like $100 million on them or whatever. But they're amazing. Yeah, because you don't need that for horror.
1 million, 2 million, 3 million, which is a good budget for a film. And yeah, you're right. You don't need that for horror. You don't need a big name cast. You usually don't need huge visual effects. Usually, if you can rely on practical effects, the more the better. Limited set, limited cast. What I've been seeing, I think a lot of with these horror films is they're bringing in, kind of legacy actors to only work, a limited amount of times. Hugh Grant and Nicolas Cage, right, and putting them in horror films. So there's just so much you can do with the genre and the space. And as a filmmaker, that's where I like to work with creatives. So.
That's cool. One of the things I saw in the email that we were sent originally that has been bugging me, I need to know what is the final girl clause? Because final
girl clause. Yeah. So this is weird because I don't know how this made it into the bio or something. I feel like somebody made this up, but essentially look, for actors, they can negotiate anything that you can imagine in terms of their contract, right? And so there are things like, as between like Vin Diesel and Dwayne The Rock Johnson, like they can't beat each other. Like not one of them can be like seen as winning in a fight. Like they have to have equal punches on screen, like things like that. A final girl clause, it probably less than a final girl clause, but it's more of the idea that like the actress who is cast in the role to be the final girl can't be replaced / they can't rewrite the story. They can't rewrite the ending such that they switch up who the final girl is.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
So when you go into a film, like if I'm the final girl, I'm going to be the final girl. It's in my contract. That's it. I'm not going to get written out. I'm not going to die at the end suddenly because they changed their mind.
Yeah, it's not protection in terms of an actor or a performer, because things can change last minute, and people can gravitate towards different people, and their screenplay changes, even up to the last day of filming and stuff. Usually, when you sign up to film, you've read a screenplay and you think it's going to go a particular way. So a clause like that is just more or less schmuck insurance.
Oh, really? That's interesting. Because I was like, what does that mean? But I guess not really too much, which, but still, it's interesting to know.
Trust me, it's very important when you start reaching that level of actor or actress where you're getting the roles and, you want to be seen, and it is hyper competitive, especially amongst horror, where it's like, there's not, it doesn't require a big name cast, right? You can put a lot of younger actors in roles, and yeah.
In a world where boats can be sentient.
Does that boat seem like it's staring at us?
A small seacraft has had enough of people walking all over it.
It seems to be getting closer.
It's done being taken for a ride.
Oh my God, it's ramming us!
And it's time for revenge.
No! Help!
Save the baby! Save my walrus!
From the makers of Tarantula Tornado and Real Big Snake, come the newest cruise into terror, Blood Voyage. Now it's up to Mr. Captain, the one person in this small beach town qualified and brave enough to take out the killer boat.
It crashed into my baby boy, Bubba. He was just minding his business, snorkeling for pigfish and flabber bits, when that evil boat don't murder my son.
Mr. Captain, you ought to stop this boat before the town's annual Savory Aspic Festival. Our entire economy depends on it.
I'll do it, but I'll need a bigger boat. And that singing crab from The Little Mermaid. I have a plan.
Captain, that crab isn't real.
Then God help us all.
Starring Stormy Timeshare as Mr. Captain, Constant Swinger as the mayor, and introducing Boat as Boat.
Captain, it's gotten control of the comm systems.
You will not stop me. I hope you know how to swim, Captain.
Oh, I swim in my sleep for breakfast.
It's headed for the Jiggly Gelatin Party Raft.
I'll stop you, you damn dirty skiff.
Sorry, Captain. I am unankleable.
Yeah, well, you can still sink.
They all float down here, Captain. They all float down here. Rated PG-14, because we threw in an extra fuck.
So what else would you tell us that you find the most fascinating about working in horror and your side of working in horror?
So again, I think that for me, the way that you can be creative to manipulate costs. The genre of horror itself just lends itself to being creative that way. I have a lot of clients. We just got done filming a Vanessa Hudgens movie. It's a horror movie set in one location. She's the primary actress in it. And we, managed to shoot it on a shoestring budget up in Canada. When there's not money flowing, the studio's not making stuff, that kind of ability to reach stars at that level and get them to do horror, I think there's never been more interest from actors and creatives to try to be in horror. So if you're a filmmaker, and there's, an actor or something that you've always wanted to work with, and now's kind of the time, because nobody's working. Not nobody's working, but it's a harder time in Hollywood than it's ever been. So it's cool that things that have always been near and dear to me are not only in vogue, but also financial moneymakers.
Right. You mean like a lot of the IP that's available to horror too, like the classics, like the Frankenstein and the Dracula and all that, because I don't know if I understand exactly, can you just keep remaking things like that over and over again?
So all of those characters are going to have various levels of rights protection, but let me rephrase that. Most of them are probably going to be in the public domain. I can't say that for sure, but a lot of those original Dracula, Frankenstein, werewolf, probably Invisible Man, Mummy, these are going to be pieces of fictional characters, pieces of intellectual property that are owned by no one or owned by everyone. Right. Anyone can take the characters and rework them and readapt them as their own. The one caveat to that is that you can't take a original creative element from somebody's new version and use that as part of your new version. The famous example of this is Wizard of Oz and the Ruby Red Slippers. The original Wizard of Oz book and the Wizard of Oz stories is in the public domain, but when MGM made the movie version, they changed the slippers from silver to ruby red to emphasize the Technicolor technology. It was the first time using Technicolor, right? So the ruby red version of the slippers are owned by MGM, where the idea of Wizard of Oz is in the public domain as a whole. That's why when you see you watch the movie Wicked, at the end they give the slippers and they're see-through glass or silver or something.
Yeah. Anything but ruby red.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Every year, so many new characters enter the public domain because, and now I forget my dates, but it's basically, I think 1924, 1925 now, something like that. Characters print or published before that are in the public domain, and you're seeing, and this is actually really cool within the horror space. You're seeing characters now be adapted for horror films that are newly entering the public domain. Winnie the Pooh.
Mickey
Mouse, Popeye the Sailor Man. I don't know that these movies are any good. The trailers look pretty horrific, but someone was smart to jump in quick and capitalize on the fact that those characters at a certain time in the last year or two have become fair use public domain. Anyone can use them and anyone can write stories about them.
That's so interesting, dude. That means as long as your Frankenstein doesn't look like anyone before it, you can just keep rewriting these. I could make a Frankenstein story right now.
you could make a Frankenstein story right now, and it's not that you couldn't copy someone else's how someone else's Frankenstein looks. It's just that you'd have to stick to the original description of that character in
I see.
the public domain book. So to the extent that everyone's Frankenstein looks kind of similar, like
Right.
that, as long as it's based on that OG description, then that's fine. But if you like made a purple Frankenstein for whatever reason, and like someone wanted
The
someone
story of Frankenberry.
berries, yeah, Frankenberries, and you want to make a movie about Frankenberry, then you're gonna have a problem because that
Right.
character's gonna be a new derivative of
Right.
Frankenstein, owned by was it Pillsbury
Or who knows at
Kellogg,
this point.
Kellogg, I think.
Kellogg or Viacom.
Post one of those. To jump on that real quick, is there a legal aspect to say, like you were talking about the ugly stepsister before, is a reworking of the Cinderella story, is using the original story legally, like, in the public domain also?
So with fairy tales like that, those stories are in the public domain, and so to the extent that the big thing that you have to worry about, that people have to worry about when they're looking at fairy tales, is they have to stay away too much from anything that Disney created that's new or novel, and because Disney is kind of the, how do I say, like what people think of when they think of those characters, you got far away from that, because you don't want the mouse coming and bringing a lawsuit against you. Ugly Stepsisters, again, a perfect example of something based on public domain IP. Cinderella, no one owns that, but they managed to turn it into a very that's a good example of taking like a Disney-esque character IP and turning it a horror film.
Brilliant.
It's a cool film.
Yeah, I can't wait to check it out. There's so many movies. It's so hard to keep up with everything. Let's see, what else do we got here?
I actually have
no,
one more.
No, Jerbil, you got your question. That's it. No, I'm just kidding.
This is
Please
when you were
help
bringing
me,
up
help me,
the Disney part. Is there like a scummy thing people can do to when something comes into the public domain to make it so nobody else can use it after that?
So here's the thing: corporations are going to be corporations.
Yeah. That's what I'm getting at.
They're certainly trying to find backdoor ways to extend the life of their copyrights. It's crazy. So just a little law school 101, intellectual property 101. Intellectual property broken into subcategories based on the type of intellectual property it protects. Patents protect technology, science, inventions, things of human intellect that are new and novel in a scientific sense, right? And patent protection lasts for 20 years, which is a good amount of time. But after 20 years, the technology, the medicine, the invention, whatever it is, not everyone can use it, but anyone can start manufacturing it. Anyone can start making money off of it. Anyone can start monetizing it. We saw that with Viagra coming into the public domain in 2017, and you saw like all these, like new companies like him.
Oh, that's where all those commercials came from.
That's where there's all the new boner pills.
The boner pills just flooded the market after that. So patents protect science and technology, but they only last 20 years.
Right.
Copyright protection lasts life of the author plus 95 years. So it is a much, much longer period of time that a creative work is protected under copyright law. Sorry. Thanks in part to Disney, the Disney company actually helped extend the Copyright Act. I think it was in 1995, in an effort to further shield Mickey Mouse, to keep Mickey Mouse out of the public domain. Fast forward to 2021, Mickey Mouse is coming. The original Steamboat Willie is coming in the public domain, and in an effort to even more try to protect that character, they start reworking the Steamboat Willie character as a trademark, which is a very different kind of intellectual property protection. Copyright protects works of creative original expression. It protects art, for lack of a better word. Trademark protects business goodwill, which is, again, what the fuck is business goodwill? I don't know. What the fuck is art? These are it's intellectual property. You can't touch these things. But what Disney started to do is they started to put the Steamboat Willie as a trademark on stuff to say, hey, now if people are using the Steamboat Willie
likeness,
image, they're not doing it because we're not going to go after them for a copyright violation because it's no longer copyright protection, but we're going to say that they're trying to impede on our right of advertisement. They're confusing the brand. They're trying.
It's like using a logo, basically.
Yeah, they're using it as a logo.
Oh, fuck.
So I would call it backdoor copyright protection.
Right. Wow.
Which I think that the courts have warned companies not to do that. But they still companies are going to company.
Right.
But I mean at this point I think that was like that was a concern of mine, maybe going into 2021, 2022.
Yeah.
Now with AI, like it's kind of like that's like shooting a BB gun at a freight train.
Right.
Like that is an issue for sure, but like there's a bajillion other things to worry about when it relates to copyright law. To the extent, like I asked myself, is copyright law even relevant in a world with AI when anyone can produce any image at the tip of their fingers? That we have these ideas of copyright infringement based on like a direct exact replica or copy, which is what the copyright. It's a copyright, the right to make a copy, hence the name.
Right.
A copyright per se is when I download something off of Napster or LimeWire or BearShare. I'm downloading Game of Thrones illegally. I'm making an exact copy of somebody else's work, and I'm either consuming it myself or I'm trying to sell it off myself as my own and try to make money off of it wrongfully. That kind of stuff will always be wrong, but in an era, the other side of copyright is when two works are too substantially similar. They'll say, you borrowed ideas from one, you stole copyrightably protected elements from one to the other. It doesn't matter if it's not a direct one for one. This, sounds like this, and it's going to be considered copyright infringement. To me, that doesn't really make sense in terms of where we're at with the internet, AI, society, ownership of idea, like all art is recycled, all art is repeated, all art is not new. So I take challenge with the whole substantial similarity copyright infringement thing, because it's like, Armageddon and Deep Impact and Armageddon were two movies that came out in the same year.
Yeah, it's been happening forever. It's been happening forever. It's like a tactic that the studios seem to have been using forever. I've literally gone to the wrong movie when I was younger by mistake.
Well, and that's
because
the
they
thing,
had similar names. It was like, a similar action movie. Like, there's so many. I could give you at least a few examples where I was like, I'm in the wrong fucking movie. The Specialist versus The Professional. That happened to me. I went to go see an arty-farty movie about some weirdo. I don't know. And in retrospect, I guess kind of a weirdo dude, but like, young Natalie Portman French shit, and then I end up watching was that Sylvester Stallone or some shit as a specialist, and I was like, I am in the wrong film. But they came out the same time, and it was the same theater, and I got the wrong ticket. So they've been doing this for fucking ever. The Illusionist and The Prestige.
It's more of like collective thought.
You think it's a zeitgeist?
There's a weird zeitgeist collective thought in Hollywood.
Really?
It is. It's really weird. I was even amongst us lawyers. I was talking to somebody today, and they're like, "Your contracts read just like my lawyer's contract." I'm like, "Yeah, because we all have the one mind. It's seriously just like a hive mind here sometimes."
In a world where orcas hate boats.
What the hell? Our rudder is gone and we're being rammed.
It's the orcas.
In the same world where boats are sentient.
Wait, they're being attacked by boats.
From the makers of Demon Squeaker and the original Blood Voyage come the next chapter in terror. Blood Voyage 2, Fear Willie. Sentience has spread from that sleepy harbor town to the open ocean, and the yachts have become a hive mind out to kill. But they didn't count on the whales fighting back.
They are destroying me. Attack them.
The orcas were no match for the ships. Outnumbered, they search for the one man that has taken down a man-eating boat, Mr. Captain.
Mr. Captain, you have to help them before it's too late.
I'll help the orcas, but I'm gonna need 24 lifeguards, a black and white scuba suit, and the orca from Free Willy.
Sir, that animal died years ago in captivity.
Then God help us all.
Starring once again, Stormy Timeshare as Mr. Captain, Chumley Bubbleguts as the orca translator, Boat as Boat, and introducing Tangy Blowhole as the orca queen.
You're up, everyone. We're swimming with the fishes.
I don't think that's what you want to say right now.
We've got you surrounded and grounded, boats. Give up.
I see we meet again, Mr. Captain.
You can't keep a good man down.
You can if you've got an anchor.
Help me, Willie.
No other human orca team up against boats you've seen will probably compare. This late summer, don't miss Blood Voyage 2, Fear Willie. Rated PG-13 because we couldn't afford the extra fuck. Yeah.
I was just talking about this with someone about, they were like, are you going to go see that movie together?
Mm-hmm.
And that I had been reading a lot about, where it's like, there was this one filmmaker who did, what was it, Better Half, and they were like, this is my film. And then the screenwriter was like, well, I wrote Together in 2019 before you even made this movie. So it's like, it's like, that was really fascinating to me. It's like, well, they have the actual and I forget what they did. You can maybe help me what the receipt was, is that I guess they, what am I trying to say? You know, they sent it into the screenplay union or something.
Well, they either registered it with the WGA, they registered it with the Writers Guild, or they filed it for copyright protection. And that's one where, you know, again, on the face of it, the writer claiming infringement pitched it to Dave Franco. I want him to be James Franco so bad.
We all do. No, it's okay. JK.
They pitched it to Dave Franco and Allison Bree's reps at WME. Allison Bree and Dave were at least aware of the screenplay. And, you know, and then obviously, again, decided to choose to produce a screenplay that was very similar, that's ultimately very suspicious, but you know, correlation isn't causation. Just because two screenplays are similar doesn't mean that one stole from the other. Case in point, because the screenplay that they actually produced off was published before the other screenplay was written. So, you know, it's so hard to claim that you had an original idea in Hollywood, and you know, I use this as an example, but I use it as like a small example and try to like expand upon it. But it's like, if I make an Alexander the Great movie, what are the chances, if I make an Alexander the Great movie and you make an Alexander the Great movie, what are the chances that there's going to be a lot of similarities? 100%. You know, there's just one story there, and you know, and that's kind of different because Alexander the Great is in the public domain. It's a historical figure; anyone can write about it. But the same principles kind of apply, where it's like, oh, I'm writing a body horror about two people who are combining. Right? Is that an original idea? It's an original-ish. Like it's not the idea that I'm pitched every single day, but I can't necessarily say that no one in the human history has ever had that idea. And then once you start following that trail, it's like, well, how much of the movies are probably going to end up being similar just because the story is people are merging together. So
And yeah, it was like in one of the articles I read, it was like, yeah, there's like other short stories and novels and short films that are based around, like, that have already been made about this happening. So yeah, it's just an idea that happened to come out, I guess, kind of close to each other. But I just thought that was super interesting.
To me, it proves collective zeitgeist, collective mind hive.
Yeah.
Dune and Star Wars came out within 5 years of each other, the book and the film, and they both were heavily inspired on the foundation, Isaac Asimov's original sci-fi works and stuff. Who stole from who borrowed from who. It's like it doesn't matter. We can enjoy both.
Right, exactly. They're so different too. So
very different, very different. And that's what I do I tell my clients that all the time, where they're like, I have a screenplay idea for a ghost in the attic. How do I protect my idea? And it's like, well, you can't.
You can't. It's a ghost in the attic. Like,
we'll
have ideas.
I was watching this movie the other day called Casper, and they completely stole my idea.
It happens, it's like
your you-ness is what makes it you. Your vision, your interpretation, your telling is what makes, there's a great movie that came out, Steven Soderbergh film, where it's a ghost movie.
Presence.
Yeah. I love that movie. It was such
I did too.
Interesting take on a horror film, but again, what's the idea? It's just like it's a haunted house. I mean,
yeah, that's it. But it's like the way that. But I knew we were in for a ride because it was under his gaze, and he's such a weirdo. It was really good. I really liked it a lot. Yeah. Yeah, it's true. And again, how many times have we watched the same ghost stories, or, even Presence? I was like, oh, cool, witchy, weird aunt, evil aunt. You know what I mean? Like, Jesus Christ, how many times have we seen that? The weird, eccentric witch that comes into town and then causes havoc. So it's all about the gaze and like what you do with it, 100%. It's just been really interesting, like listening. Like I said, it's like to the different filmmakers when they are like, oh no, I didn't get this idea from you, I got it from this or that. Like, I think The Matrix had like a bunch of contention going on around it with this other screenwriter, but when I saw it, I was like, oh, this is a whole bunch of anime I've already seen anyway. Like, he has like Appleseed and shit already, or like what's that, Akira and stuff. It was just like, I don't know, it was so original. I had a hard time believing that they actually like ripped off somebody for that film.
Quentin Tarantino says it, good artists borrow, great artists steal. And he stole that line from Picasso, so.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. The biggest, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. 100%. He's not wrong. So let's see. What else do we got? What else are we going to talk about here? Anything?
I need to know about Mia Goth's surprise in her contract.
Mia Goth's surprise in her contract. What's that?
I don't know.
It's in your list.
We got this thing with the stuff to
ask you.
I need to
re-examine this.
It says Mia Goth's contract might surprise you. How horror actors protect themselves in extreme roles from nudity to sequels. So that's one of the little.
I'll say this. Hollywood has come a long way in terms of nudity and on-set sex simulation. When I first started in the business, there really were no rules or guidelines or restrictions. Now we have, an intimacy coordinator on set. I negotiate very detailed nudity riders that must be presented to reps within 72 hours before the scene shoots. They need to be in the rep's hands, screenplay pages, a description of what's happening. And this is for, I don't mean to put this in a bad way, but like for nobodies, you know what I mean? Like for just like like a day player, right?
Yeah.
These rules and protections are there, and that's great. It's been cool to see that evolution. We make sure that we put a sexual harassment, policy one sheet in all of the crew members' onboarding paperwork and stuff. So as it relates to sex and nudity on screen, there has been a lot of change in the procedural side of how that's done.
That's really interesting and refreshing to know. Because again, you hear horror stories and you're just like, why is it got to be like that? It's like, it doesn't.
I've had horror stories. I've had clients who were engaged on something, simply because the director thought that they were, hot and wanted to see them, naked or make out and stuff like that. And it's, you definitely always need to know who you're getting in bed with. Always get your money up front. Especially if it looks shady and sounds shady. Bring a +1 with you wherever you go, I guess. Mia Goth, she's so great that scene in Pearl that she holds her face at the end credit, like it's just I mean, wow. That's got to be one of my favorite scenes in all of filmmaking.
Yeah, it's
absolutely.
She's incredible. It's like, and that whole So Far trilogy. I'm hoping that it's not over. That's my hope and possible guess that maybe.
Can we refilm the Maxine? Can we redo that one?
You didn't like Maxine?
I did not like Maxine, and I really wanted to because it was like me. It was or not me. It was 80s Hollywood. It was very much like the kind of stuff that I'm super into, and it could have been like a Quentin Tarantino Once Upon a Time in Hollywood meets, and I suppose they went that way a little bit, but in terms of compared to Pearl,
that's true.
I loved the use of Technicolor. I loved the use of fantasy, and it just felt so whimsical and fun and dangerous and scary and deadly. Yeah, I love that movie.
It was far superior. I agree. I have to go back and watch. I have to watch Maxine again. Yeah. Although I feel like I did enjoy it, but I feel like they could have pushed into the nostalgia a little bit more. Like since like you said, they did with the Technicolor and everything with Pearl. Yeah.
What was the story? Wasn't it like her dad? I don't want to spoil it for people, but I'm trying to remember.
You can do spoilers. We don't care.
I'm trying to remember the ending though. Wasn't it like her dad was the killer because he was like in a cult or some?
He was super religious, and he wanted to stop her from being like so slutty or something. So he was like killing people. It was pretty weak. Yeah, Pearl was just so good, and then like Maxine did have a bit of a. It did feel a little less exciting, like you said. It was.
I think a little bit of that was like because it was coming off of the heels of
Pearl. It was coming off the heels of
Pearl.
Yeah.
Yeah. If Pearl never came out, Maxine would have been great.
Yeah, if they did it the other way around, maybe.
Yeah, you couldn't follow Pearl with that, honestly.
She wasn't quite as likable either. It's like she was all right, but it's like Pearl's just like you love her because you just can't look away.
Well, it would have been cool to see this more, and they tried to set it up, and I just don't feel like they did it well enough. And again, the twist being the dad at the end didn't quite work. But if they would have set it up in this more of like Dexter cat versus mouse serial killer versus serial killer thing, and set them up more of like a BTK Strangler type, like stalking and killing LA, like that could have been a really cool cat and mouse game. And again, I feel like that's kind of where they wanted to go, but they didn't quite go there.
You're right. I actually thought that's where it was going to go, and then it ended up being her dad. So, yeah, you're right. I just like Mia Goth, I guess.
Kevin Bacon was in it. Kevin Bacon was in it.
Yeah, Kevin Bacon.
I love Kevin Bacon.
He was the first... Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
He was the first major celebrity that I had to do a nudity deal for. I did a deal for Kevin Bacon's butt once.
Really? Nice. Wait, did you stop us from getting to see it or help us to see it?
No, I helped you get to see it.
Thank you so much.
In the TV show, I Love Dick on Amazon Plus. Joey Soloway TV show. At the end of the first episode, Kevin Bacon plays a rough and tumble cowboy type, and he gets into a pool and drops his jeans, and you get to see the intergluteal cleft is what it's called.
Oh my God, I'm gonna go and watch this immediately.
The top
after.
of the butt cheeks.
Jerbil, did you have to have a lawyer about your clefts? Because you've shown your ass on television so much.
I feel like now, hearing all this, I feel like I should.
I know you showed your ass on TV like nothing.
Yeah.
Like people screenshot that. We did, and we put it up as a picture at the live thing.
Yeah.
We told people to
Sounds
rub
like
your
an
butt.
HR violation.
Yeah. I was on Naked and Afraid.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, what do you want from us? So could Jerbil sue us for printing a picture of his butt out and putting at the live podcast because he didn't show up and tell people they could rub it for good luck?
Discovery Channel might be able to.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Discovery Channel might be able to sue for copyright infringement.
I feel like they own my butt.
They own your butt. They own the image of your butt as it's fixed and stilled in the copyright of the show.
All right, I take it back. Yeah. Jerbil also gonna have to send us just a personal butt pic for the future then.
I have to take my own now. Yep.
If you wonder about dark matter, missing links, and wild lives of scientists, space updates, and cutting-edge technological breakthroughs, then this is a podcast you've been looking for.
Join hosts Michaela Superstar and Electric.
And Jerbil.
Shut up, Jerbil! For a drink and a savvy science conversation that gives you fuel for your nerdiest discourse and jokes you can't wait to rip off.
Check out our website at thebluntletters.com, our new home on the interwebs for all things blunt letters.
Follow us and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts, including Apple Podcasts.
Fancy. The Blunt Letters Podcast, subversively nerdy.
I'm sorry, it just made me think of it. I was like, wait, now that we're talking about butts on TV, did they approach you and be like, look, man, don't worry, we're not going to show your gooch or anything?
Jerbil, you've been keeping it secret. You're a secret celebrity this whole time. TV star.
Yeah. I was going to get to it. I didn't want to just throw it out there. Yeah.
But I was on TV.
Because a lot of people that did the show more and more, like I did it twice, but some people have been on it since the beginning, and a lot of them ended up hiring entertainment lawyers and getting their contract negotiated and things like that, and got a much better deal than probably the rest of us ever got.
You know, it's super interesting, and a little bit of like long-winded. I'm the old man telling, let me curl my beard and spin you a yarn. You know, when I first started in Hollywood in 2010, 2011, the Naked is Afraid, Kardashians, Cake Boss, Honey Boo Boo, Catfish, like unscripted TV was 24/7 everywhere. MTV, VH1, BET, Bravo, E, Home and Garden Network, Discovery Channel, TLC. Like it was a huge beast of the entertainment industry, and it made up a large portion of content and then therefore jobs within the entertainment business. When I was graduating law school, if you wanted to be an entertainment lawyer, you almost were certain to go down the track of being an unscripted entertainment lawyer. I actually started out kind of working in unscripted television when I first graduated law school. And then Netflix came out and basically said, hey, we're going to rewrite the model on everything. Started making high premium, high budget content. You know, Amazon joined the game, Apple, Hulu, Disney eventually. And between that and the rise of YouTube and TikTok, those unscripted shows just basically got decimated. The major popular ones still exist, and Netflix has found a second life, kind of reviving the trashy Jersey Shore style type content. But it is a small fraction of the industry that it once was. There's only, so many companies still producing content in that space. I represent people more like you, Jerbil, on the talent side of those shows. Like I represent
Okay.
Raquel Leviss from Vanderpump Rules,
Cool.
and a few of the guys from Love Is Blind and The Ultimatum and stuff like that. But yeah, unscripted TV is kind of going the way of the dinosaurs.
Yeah, I think that's probably for the best. It seemed like it was kind of exploitative because it wasn't Hollywood people involved in it. It was usually just regular people that didn't know any better to hire a lawyer,
Right?
And they can kind of just not pay, do
that's
whatever
why it
they
was so
wanted
brilliant to them.
And you're probably only going to be on it once or twice and never do it again, never do TV again.
Yeah, that's why they were like, "Oh, cool, we can make all this money spending almost no. We don't have to have writers or barely any writers." Like,
a lot of people would probably do it for nothing.
Michaela, you couldn't have said it better, because what happened was there was the writer's strike of 2008 shut down production for an entire year, and they said, well, fine, we don't need writers to write this stuff because we can just make Honey Boo Boo and
it writes itself.
It writes itself. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember because they fucked up Heroes, and that show was awesome.
Yeah. Second season of Heroes just got and then the show never recovered.
It was so good, and then it was so bad.
On that note, should we close it out? Hold on one second.
Yeah, you tell us, because we'll just keep babbling. But it's been really good show. So
is that a sword?
Oh my God!
It is a sword.
I got a Hiro Murai.
That's amazing. Oh my God!
What's the character's name now? I can't think of it.
I can't either. God, it's been
played by the guy who was in Angel, right? What was his name? No, I'm gonna have to.
Usually it's Jerbil who's Googling for us.
I'm Googling right now. What are we looking for?
The guy who had the sword in Heroes.
Takezo Kensei?
Yeah, Takezo Kensei.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, amazing. That show was great.
That was a good show. I missed it.
I missed it too.
Good times in television. Now television it's been a hit or miss, more miss than hit lately. Although I am liking the Alien TV show. I guess
amazing.
I love it. I'm really enjoying it.
100%.
I like it.
Amazing. And the animated one before it was really good too. Sorry, that was a Predator. That one was also
there's a
awesome.
Predator animated one that I haven't seen yet. Predator Badlands I'm very excited about.
Me too.
Taking the genre, you put the Predator as the main character and make him the hero.
Yes.
How hard was that this whole time?
Yeah. So into it, dude. So yeah, I mean.
Oh, speaking of another one, I'm thinking of again, just getting how creative it's getting. The Good Boy. Have you seen the trailer for this one yet?
No, I just got a thing in my email about it.
Notification about it? Yeah, it's like a horror movie from the dog's perspective or something.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We might I'm going to try to get someone from that film interview. They said from Strike Media or something. Someone sent me.
Okay.
Yeah. So it looks great. And I love the different perspective horror films. Although that new Wolfman one or whatever it was called is pretty terrible. Where it's the one with the girl from Ozark, the I don't know shit about fuck girl. What's her name? She's great. Julia Gardner.
Julia Gardner.
And her husband gets bit, and then you start to see it from his point of view as he's becoming a werewolf. But it was.
It's called.
Yeah, it was terrible.
That wasn't good.
It was so bad. Anyway, we could go back and forth.
The Kit Harington one I think was actually better. Right? There was a Kit Harington one that came out again. A hive mind. There was a Kit Harington one that came out just about the same time that was better. It was more thoughtful. It left you kind of thinking, I guess.
Jerbil loves werewolves.
Fun. The Beast Within. I do love werewolves.
Yeah, the Beast Within. I think that's what it was, right?
So much better. Well, thanks for coming and talking to us.
Thank you so much for having me. Yeah.
Anytime, come back for sure. We loved having you, and we always love to get the inside scoop because who cares about opinions all the time,
Yeah.
It's like who cares what me and Jerbil think.
When I get some hot, spicy Hollywood horror news, I'll let you know, and we'll
lay it on us. Lay it on us, please. Well,
Thank you, audience, for having me. Really appreciate it. Thank you, Michaela. Thank you, Jerbil.
Do you want to plug your
Yeah,
social
let
media?
us know where we can find
you. Find me on Instagram at Lastine Law. Find me on my website, LastineEntertainmentLaw.com. If you're out in LA, we sponsor events. We're sponsoring the Maxim Top 100 party tonight, which is going to be really cool. We'll be doing a lot of stuff for Halloween and the spooky season. So yeah, that's our law firm.
Sounds rad. Thank you so much. And have a good night tonight. Sounds fun.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Bye, Joshua.
Enjoy yourself.
Right.
It was nice to meet you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Later.
That was awesome. Well, thanks.
Yeah, that
Thanks
went
for
great.
everybody. everybody. We hope you enjoyed our interview. And if you have anyone you want us to interview, you want to be interviewed by us or anything, slip us a DM, get in our emails at bleedwithmepodcast@gmail.com or the blunt letters at gmail.com. Reach out because we love to have you, obviously. That was awesome.
You don't have to be famous.
You don't have to be famous.
Just come
I'm
on.
trying to get a special effects person that was on the Trauma movie set.
Oh, wait. I know a special effect.
That sounds great. I really like special effects. It's what I wanted to do but then I thought that practical effects weren't going to be a thing because of computer stuff, and I was really wrong. So I'm super into it. And yeah, we're definitely going to have an episode where I talk about being on extra on a Trauma movie because it was pretty amazing. So Insider.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Extra. Zombie chicken, bitch. It's going to be great. So yeah, thanks for listening, everyone. And as always, stay bloody.